I don't think that this is a hearing about these seven peptides. I think it's a hearing about the future and what comes next. If the advisory committee recommends against adding these peptides to the 503A bulk list, and the FDA ultimately adopts that recommendation, access through traditional compounding pharmacies could become very limited. It doesn't mean that people taking peptides suddenly lose access the next day, but it could make it much harder for patients to obtain these therapies through traditional compounding pharmacies over time. And here's the question that I keep asking myself. If people believe these therapies are helping them, what happens if regulated access becomes more limited? Some people may stop treatment. Some may transition to FDA approved therapies if there are some available, but others will begin looking elsewhere. That could mean research chemical websites, international suppliers, or underground labs. And those sources don't necessarily operate under the same standards that licensed compounding pharmacies do. That doesn't mean that every product outside of a compounding pharmacy is unsafe, but it does mean that patients often have less transparency and less safeguards. To me, that is why this hearing matters, because this conversation isn't about seven peptides. It's about where patients may turn if regulated access becomes more limited. I also think it's significant that LEMD's founder and CEO, Honey Sagari, has been invited to speak before this committee. The committee isn't only hearing from FDA scientists. They're hearing from clinicians and researchers and healthcare professionals and patients. I think they're trying to understand both the science and the real world impact that these decisions could have. And whether you support broader access or stronger regulation, I think we can all agree on one thing. Patients deserve safe and transparent access to the therapies that they choose to pursue. And if people are going to seek peptide therapies anyway, it's worth asking where the access is the safest. And I'll be following these hearings closely. And when they're over, I'll break down what happened, what the committee recommended, what it means today, and what could happen next.